Are you ready?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Saw you run over the hills and into the sun. Little baby sleeping on a back porch stair. God knows how you found the heart to leave her there. And it's a hard way to learn. Hard way to learn. Thanks, everybody. Can you hear okay on each side? Okay. This is actually our third time at this library. The first time I think we played in the atrium, and last time a few years ago we were down at that end, but then they changed the setup for the,
So that's why you might not recognize us.
Yes, right. Just to keep us guessing, different place each time. So we're Rebecca and Ken, otherwise known as Hungry Town, and the songs that you're going to hear this afternoon, most of them are songs that we wrote ourselves, so we like to explain a little bit about each song as we go through the program. This next one is sort of, well, it's actually seasonal because it's the month of November, and the song is called November Song. And
wow, what are the odds?
What are the odds?
1 in 12, I'd say.
Right. And it's actually the story of a young man who is called up to serve in a war, and he's just kind of saying goodbye to his friends and familiar surroundings as he heads off. And this is November Song.
Are you ready?
Yes.
2, 3, 4.
Through the hills as the streams do Jumping high, you can catch the sun. Turn the clock back when the day is done. Teach the sea to forsake the shore. Stop the young men marching on to war. Through the hills as the streams do flow, that's the way she always seems to go. As autumn trees burn against the sky, so shines the color in my true love's eye. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So,
And thank you for the people watching, I guess, after the fact.
After the
on
fact,
cameras. We're happy to see you, or we will be happy to see you
in the future.
in the future.
We've been watching a lot of Doctor Who, so.
So we're thinking totally like
travel
different
is
dimensions, right?
So yeah, we have a bunch of different albums, and we're going to do a song for you next from our most recent album, which is, it's funny, it was recorded several years ago, and at the time we were doing a lot of traveling because it was in the pre-COVID days, and we were touring, and everything, you know, was just how it was back in the before times, as I call them now. But yeah, so all the songs are about traveling, and I remember back in those days, I used to say, oh man, I'm on the road all the time. I wish I had more time to stay at home.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yes, be careful what you wish for. I wouldn't have had it that way exactly. So, but anyway, and a lot of the songs on that album were inspired by different characters that we met on our travels. And we'll play one of the songs for you now. It's called Don't You Let Me Down.
And we are a folk act, and so a lot of our songs, not all of them, a lot of them have sing-along choruses if you're interested.
choruses.
Or if you're interested. And since you're watching at a different time and place, you better sing extra loud.
So we can hear you. I took a young girl for my wife, don't you let me down. Got her hair turned gray on our wedding night, don't you let me down. Don't you let me down, don't you let me down. Her hair turned gray on our wedding night, don't you let me down. I bought a house high on a hill, don't you let me down. You turn to dust as houses will, don't you let me down. Don't you let me down, don't you let me down. You turn to dust as houses will, don't you let me down. I saved a nickel every day, don't you let me down. Till the bank man stole it all away, don't you let me down. Don't you let me down, don't you let me down. The bank man stole it all away, don't you let me down. A truer friend you'll never find, don't you let me down. Till the day I leave you all behind, don't you let me down.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So a lot of the songs that we write are inspired by traditional folk songs of the Appalachians or British Isles. There are different themes that crop up again in these songs over and over again. And one of those themes is the rose or the briar. There's a traditional ballad called Barbary Allen that's about two people who fall in love, and one's rich and one's poor, so they don't manage to get together in life, but they're buried on opposite sides of a church wall, and a rose grows up from one side and a thorn from the other, so they're joined in the afterlife is the idea. That's Barbary Allen. And a lot of other songs in the folk tradition kind of have that theme. And we thought it would be fun to write our own version of that, maybe update it a little bit, and put the rose and the briar in one person. And the words to the chorus are, "What will you be tonight, my love, the rose or the briar?" So for those of us who are moody like me, I can relate to it, I guess. And this song was actually used in a Netflix comedy called Lady Dynamite, oddly enough. What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? I met her walking in the lane, her angel face affair, but from her lips such words did come, the devil answered there. What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? Her words so rough to other ears, to mine like kisses seem. How came my unsuspecting heart to love a girl so mean? What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? My love grows up between the thorns in a garden rich and strange. It thrives upon the rocky soil and scorns the sun and rain. What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? What will you be tonight, my love? What will you be tonight? The rose or the briar? The rose or the briar? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
So this September and October, we had originally planned to be in the UK, and this was the second year in a row that we canceled a tour there. So we just keep rolling the shows on one year into the next. And we've been touring there for many years, playing folk clubs and other venues all around.
Village halls.
Yeah, village halls, all around Great Britain. And we've learned a lot of songs that way just by going there and hearing music. And I'd like to do for you now, this is a traditional Scottish ballad that I heard the first time performed by Sandy Denny. And it's just like typical, I guess, a love gone wrong kind of unrequited love tale where the person that you love marries somebody else, and you're part of the wedding party, so you have to watch the whole thing as it's going on.
Adding insult to injury.
Yeah, exactly, rubbing salt in the wound, as it were. So this is The False Bride.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
I once loved a lass, and I loved her so well. I hated all others who spoke of her ill. And now she's rewarded me well for my love. For she's gone and she's wed another. I saw my love up to the church go, with bridesmen and bridesmaidens. She made a fine show, and I followed on with my heart full of woe. For she's gone and she's wed another. I saw my love as she sat down to dine. I sat down beside her and I poured the wine, and thought on the lass who should have been mine. For she's gone and she's wed another. All the men in the forest, they ask it of me, how many strawberries grow in the salt sea. And I answered them with a tear in my eye, how many ships sail in the forest. So dig me a grave and dig it so deep, and cover it over with flowers so sweet, that I'll lay me down for to take a long sleep. And maybe in time I'll forget her.
An oldie but a goodie. Like 400 or 500 years old, maybe?
I think so,
I don't
yeah.
know. Lost count.
Yeah.
Oh, and you forgot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice to see you all. Thanks for coming. And thank you for watching.
And it's nice to do in-person shows again.
And thanks for being here in person. I know we haven't done too many now, right? Isn't that so cool? Really is great to actually see you.
Yes.
And see you. And by see you, I mean Mark the cameraman.
Yes.
But obviously we all kind of, we're all like happy to be together and to be doing this together. And like together, what does that mean anymore, right? I mean, we've all been affected by the last couple of years and the various events, and a lot of us have known people, or certainly know people who've known people who have died or have been terribly traumatized by COVID and the pandemic. And it's been hard for all of us. I mean, it's something we can all say. And I think none of us have really escaped the effects. And we have this song. It's actually written several years before this happened, but I think it kind of speaks to our current state of mind in many ways, because so many of us, I guess, I kind of feel left behind, kind of really no longer feel connected the way we used to. And that's really kind of what the song is about. It's about kind of wanting to be back together, wanting to be a part of it once again. This is the title track to our second album, and it's called Any Forgotten Thing.
Lately my hands don't seem to work the way I want them to, and I'd like to look up at the sky instead of down at my shoes. Can't seem to turn my mind to what each day might bring, 'cause I've fallen into disrepair like any forgotten thing. The clock upon the mantle has fallen out of time. I can't see why I should wind it while I'm so far behind, but I might replace the front door bell just to hear it ring. Oh, let the old one rust away like any forgotten thing. Some things here can still be fixed, for others it's too late. But I can't be sure of what to keep and what to throw away. It's like living in the space between the winter and the spring. One season of uncertainty for every forgotten thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. So we're doing a couple songs in a row now from our second album, which is also called Any Forgotten Thing. We just played the title track from that record. This next one is another one that we wrote, and we were driving down the highway. I think we were in New Mexico, and I started to get this little melody playing in my head, and I was trying to think of some words to go along with it. And whenever that happens, I just try to think, what does the melody sound like? And to me, it sounded kind of like, sort of like a carnival or something like that. So the song ended up being, it's just sort of someone sitting on a carousel and going around this ride, and there's things about being on this ride of the carousel that remind them of different experiences that they've had through their life. So this is called Calliope. The music of the carousel echoes a sweet refrain of fairground scenes from days gone by, and how we used to play. My horse is faded silver, yours is white and gold. Swiftly around the track we go, and where we'll stop, who's to know? You're always half a length ahead, no matter how well I ride. And the further I stretch to grasp the ring, the more I start to slide. Play on, Calliope, I hear you winding low. Our ride has only just begun, we've still got so far to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much. So this next song works better if it's the middle of the night, but we'll just imagine. So we were trying to find, I needed to write another song to finish our Any Forgotten Thing album. I think we had 11 songs, and we like to have 12 for some reason, and an even dozen. So I was trying to think of a song idea, and I got lucky one night because I was just looking out the window at the night sky. I think it was December, and there was a meteor shower, and I thought, it might be fun to write a song where one of the characters is a falling star, and just see how that goes. I saw one just the other night, making its way through the sky was a tiny light, just a falling star, a falling star, a falling star. I like to think it fell down to the ground, someplace safe, someplace it could be found. Just a falling star, a falling star, a falling star. Oh, little star, can you see me? Was it love that brought you down so easily? Just a falling star, a falling star, a
falling star. Falling star, you shine so bright. I wonder what you would become without your light. Just a falling star, a falling star, a falling star.
Thank you. We just made a really cool little video of that song that we just put on YouTube just a couple of days ago. It's gotten a lot of likes. It's really I found a bunch of old footage from the turn of the 20th century that has to do with astronomical themes, and it's really, really cute. So if you check us out at either at YouTube or hungrytown.net or our Facebook page, by all means, just it's free.
Check out the videos.
And it's real cute.
Yeah, it's a fun, creative thing to do.
Yeah.
So this is another traditional ballad that we're going to do for you next, and this song is, I guess it's actually another Love Gone Wrong song. I believe this
It's an ongoing
one,
theme.
it's an ongoing theme. It seems it never goes out of style, apparently. But yeah, this I think is an Irish ballad, and in this song, it's basically one person keeps writing letters to the other one after the love affair is over, and the person's like, I don't want to get these anymore. It's kind of like in modern day you'd keep texting when you're just not supposed to.
You might call it stalking, too.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
But we don't know the circumstances. I mean, I'm guessing
Hard
that
to
they're
know.
fairly dire.
Yes. So this is called Green Grow the Laurels, or it will be once we stop tuning. We have to go into
Requires
different.
a new tuning for both of us.
Yes.
Although she's pretty good at talking and tuning at the same time.
Getting there. Sounds right. Okay.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Green grow the laurels, soft falls the dew, and sad I was, darling, when parting from you. Perhaps in the future our love will renew, and we'll join the green laurel and the violet, so blue. I wrote my love a letter with red rosy lines. He wrote me back another, all twisted and twined, saying, keep your love letter and I will keep mine. You write to your love and I'll write to mine. I walk by his window both night time and day, and the look that he gave me 1,000 would slay. Oh, the look that he gave me 1,000 would kill. Now he had and deceived me. I love that boy still. Oh, sometimes I wonder why women love men, and sometimes I wonder why men do love them. But from my own knowledge, I will have you know that many are deceivers wherever they go.
Another oldie but a goodie.
So yeah, normally at this time of year we'd be heading down south for our annual winter tour, and we used to go all across the bottom half of the country, Florida, Texas, New Mexico, and I think we're going to give that a rest for another year before we, or maybe more, before we start doing that again.
Although, on the other hand, we do love being
we love
here,
being here, yeah.
And we consider this our home region because we live in Vermont. And I think it's really cool being here, especially at this time of year. Especially at a library like this. I mean, give me a break. This is
I
like
know,
so awesome.
I know.
You guys are real lucky. I'm
You're
so jealous.
so lucky to be here, to have this in your community.
It's like I would hook it up to the back of the Subaru and drag it back with us.
Yes.
I don't care if I hog up all the lanes.
Is it Richardsonian Romanesque?
Richardsonian Romanesque, that's right.
I can't even say that. Richardsonian. That's a
This one might have
tongue
been
twister.
designed by Richard himself, actually.
Yeah. This is the Richardson room. So.
That's right. Seriously, Richardson.
Right. But yeah, so I rewrote this song because I guess in a way we were kind of snowbirds going down south for tours and stuff in the winter. And I guess we felt a certain kinship with these birds that we would see migrating. And back in the days when we were traveling all the time, we'd think, geez, we'd look at the birds and maybe project a little bit onto them. Like, do they ever get a chance to rest? Do they ever do they ever stop flying? And so that's sort of the idea behind this song, and it's called Sometime. Are you ready?
2, 8, 4.
A flock of birds high overhead is drifting softly down, as one by one they come to set their feet upon the ground. Halfway round the world they flow, but now they're coming down. We've all got to rest sometimes. We've all got to rest sometime. Words I never should have spoken, hanging in the air, and knowing that I lost you now is what I have to bear. It's too late to call them back, but next time I'll think twice. We've all got to learn some rushing through my brightest hour, savoring the dark, believing every unkind word is justified in part, balancing each day upon the blade of light and shade. So I try not to waste my time, but it's all such a waste of time.
Thank you.
So this is another, we're going to do another sort of traveling song for you. A lot of our songs have stories or characters in them, stuff like that, but this one is a little different. Sort of just describes, we wanted to try to do a song that just describes what something feels like or tries to capture a moment in time rather than telling a story, just sort of like...
For many hours in time.
Yeah, many hours in time, actually. Yeah, we were thinking about these trips that we used to take out in the West, maybe heading through, I don't know, the Dakotas or Texas or New Mexico or Illinois, someplace like that. Very different to New England in the sense that we have a lot of like little windy roads here, and out west it's all just these straight highways heading off into the horizon. And there were times that we just didn't see another car for like several hours, which is really weird because I grew up in Boston and I'm just not used to it. So, but anyway, yeah, this is about the romance of traveling, but also the kind of disconnect that you get with it too. And it's called Static.
On this highway, no reflectors, hard to see where we are turning now. Driving after midnight past the farmers who have put their fields to bed. Gone so far you'll never catch me. I think of tuning in. I know just how it feels to think you've lost whatever signal you once had. Gone so far you'll never catch me now. To be forgotten anyhow. So far between the towns I can't remember when we last drove past a traffic light. Maybe we can get to California by the morning if we drive all night. Gone so far you'll never catch me now. Soon to be forgotten.
the name of our duo is Hungry Town, and we got our name from a song that we wrote, which we got the idea to write from a road that we saw.
It's complicated.
It is, I know, it's going back. It's actually, the song is named after an actual place, Hungry Town Road, which is just this little dirt road in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia that it doesn't lead to an actual place called Hungry Town, which we expected that it would the first time we saw it. And I guess maybe we were a little disappointed, like, where is...
It's the cows.
Yeah, just cows and Hungry Town Holler, I guess. But yeah, so and there's a few houses along the road. And actually, a few years ago, I got a letter from somebody saying, have you ever been to the real Hungry Town? I live on that road. And somehow they'd heard the song and wrote to us. So that was really neat. And they said, you can come stay with us when you come down. So that was kind of neat. But anyway, the song, as we wrote it, is really just more about trying to find the road that takes you to a better place. And it's not, could just be figuratively speaking, you know. Anyway, this is our theme song, Hungry Town Road.
There's a road that leads out of this town, and one day gonna follow it down. I'm going down the Hungry Town Road till I reach the place I belong. I got married when I was just a young girl, and I never seen much of the world, but I learned how to fight with the ones that I love, and to pay for the words that I said. There's a road that leads out of this town, and one day gonna follow it down. I'm going down the Hungry Town Road till I reach the place I belong. When I saved and I worked every day, but I never seemed to put much away. It's too low a price for a life that's so dear, so I guess I'll be moving along. There's a road that leads out of this town, and one day gonna follow it down. I'm going down the Hungry Town Road till I reach the place I belong. I look up at the mountains so high that their treetops are brushing the sky, and I know there's a road that leads past those hills, but I wonder how far it will take me. There's a road that leads out of this town, and one day gonna follow it down. I'm going down the Hungry Town Road till I reach the place I belong. Till I reach the place I belong.
So we have just one more song for you. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's wonderful to have a performance space like this where we can be socially distanced and still be together and have a concert face to face like this. It's so wonderful. You have no idea how much this has improved my mood. So thank you guys so much. I'd like to thank the library and the Friends of the Library especially for sponsoring this program, and also the foundation that provides the piano and all sorts of other goodies for the
And Mark
community.
for the
thank you.
videography.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Is that a word? Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
And you can find us at hungrytown.net, and you can find us at facebook.com/hungrytown. And you can also find us on Spotify. So please, by all means, give us a follow, because we are trying to accumulate follows for Spotify, because we do have a new album in the works, and we want as many Spotify followers as possible so that we can, promote it early.
Releasing singles onto that, so that'll be fun. Anyway, so we're going to finish up here with, this is kind of our farewell to summer. I'm like, I know it's November and I should be over it by now.
It's a long goodbye.
Yeah, it's a long goodbye.
At standard time.
Yeah, standard time, I know. We did get to the library an hour early today, but we actually set our clocks to the right time, but I just wasn't quite.
It's overcompensating.
Yeah, I was overcompensating. So anyway, this is called The Sweetest Flower.
The sweetest flower I ever saw grows on the westward plain. The only boy I ever loved, I never may see again. The blue star blooms but once a year, when the sun shines bright in the sky. But if you pluck those flowers out, then they will surely die. And if you tell the one you love that you'll be no man's bride, he'll leave you sure as the sun will rise, as sure as the tears you'll cry. The flowers in my garden grow and bloom from spring to fall, but wildflowers grow just where they will and need no care at all. The sweetest flower I ever saw grows on the westward plain. The only boy I ever loved, I never may see again.
Thank you. We're Hungry Town. Have a great evening.